welcome to another edition of information segment on GH Libya TV. In fact, it has been a very long time that we posted here. It's because of one of two things. That is why we couldn't post it. So we apologize our cherished viewers for the inconveniences that occurred. So today we have a whole lot of stories, and the stories making headline today. Libya and Niger reach a final unified formula for a memorandum of understanding on labor between two countries. And the Presidential Council leader, Mr. Memphis, said illegal immigration has exhausted Libya. And also, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees in Libya helped release 58 asylum seekers from detention today. And also, the European Union adopts a legal framework that allows the imposition of sanctions on election obstructionists in Libya. So these and many more stories that we have for you guys. So don't go away. Let's go for a commercial break and come back. When we come back, we'll have the details for you.
May call office be one. My academy for Libya, and you know, 3 months in some kind. A month for sick in our cajon. But I'm a sipping damn now. Ah, Nadina Kutawi. Kosiana snap, Mukomudio, Muko be next time, Jobisica. Auntie, Kosia, and on some hope a print to coffee, snap a coffee, mobitus. I don't know them for more. Yes, I'm across my home. And you're breathing me, my baby. I'm in Casimintro. Lunar Transport Service for Abba at the Magana for. They say, I know Casemu be more prum at that all, and I will be beer or person to coin, Echo Libya, and West Africa baby. And to mammy, sell person money TV, laptops, fridges, at the free Libya, at the Bagana, and West Africa, you know, at the Bagana, dear, or more be more up on the tournament. And then 120 connection man for you now, hey, away. Now to see a put on him, a conphobia bar. Yesterday, I say the agent for you do more day. You didn't pako. Na mu hina ye ndada fo. They say loan for and aba. Omo de mo biem, omo kuta airline baby o pese wo ko biada. Ye de wo be ko mame. Baby a wo say wo dua. Wo se mto wo ko. Na ko tro wo din. Mame. Omo no mesi na gu ase no. So ho. Enti bi de wo ko ho no office wo meme so wo se de wo ko gina office. Na nya baby ye betu wadi ayo frakadam. Etuji di say Send me the Huba woman, or Monium sitting coffee back on seeing me. Debbie, you didn't you cry. Tess a honor with the BBI show. Now, so all to play my uncle faster away. Young to can be on Yama woman and so on Sabbath can say Kim. Maybe almost even make come on Abudia about Cabo. Mammy, oh, yeah.
Welcome back. Now, the news in detail. The Ministry of Labor and Rehabilitation announced that it has reached a compromise formula with the Niger government regarding organizing the recruitment of labor between the two countries. The ministry explained that the negotiation that lasted for 3 days between the two sides in the Nigerian capital, Niamey, reached a final unified formula for a memorandum of understanding between the two sides in preparation for signing it as soon as possible. After completing the administrative procedure in this regard, and an action plan was agreed upon to activate it after its sign, according to minister's statement. The delegation from the Ministry of Labor and Rehabilitation held by and the Secretary of the Ministry of Labor and Rehabilitation for Employment Affairs, Ali Hadi, headed to the Republic of Niger 2 days to hold a meeting with the specialist of the Ministry of Employment, Labor and Social Protection in the Republic of Niger to discuss the memorandum of understanding regarding cooperation in the field of labor used between the two countries, in accordance with the laws and regulating regulations. The agent expressed his support and thanks for the effort of the two parties to reach a signed formula between Libya and Niger regarding the memorandum of understanding, and he hoped to sign it with the Ministry of Labor and Rehabilitation of the state of Libya in the near future. Wackel said that the Libyan and the Niger people have historical and brotherly relationship, stressing that the memorandum will serve and preserve the rights of the two friendly people and contribute to regulating and regular movement of labor away from the phenomenon of illegal immigration. Now, in another story, the Presidential Council leader Mohamed Memphis said that the problem of illegal immigration has exhausted the world and Libya as a transit country in his speech at the opening of the COMESA summit in Cairo on Tuesday. He added, preventing the waves of migrants from meeting the waves of the Mediterranean is purely a political fantasy, as long as the economic conditions in the migratory countries do not meet the most basic requirements of the decent life for millions of people. Memphis called on the European Union and its members, economic organization and financing arms to play a large and more positive role in cooperating with the organization and the African Union to work on establishing sustainable economic development that accommodate and meet the aspiration of the continent youths and African Union to work on establishing sustainable economic development that accommodates and meet the aspiration of the continent youth and guarantee their future in their countries. He also called on the General Secretariat of COMESA and member states of members to complete the organizational structures, logistical and technical procedures which ensure the smooth transition of goods within the organization, and to play a more integrated role in food production and the development of agriculture and development methods through scientific and technical cooperation between industries and agricultural research centers. He affirmed Libya's continued support the development and prosperity on the African continent after it has contributed over the past decade to build African institutions, particularly the African Union and COMESA. Also, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees helped release 58 asylum seekers from detentions today. Most were arrested during security operations last month by Libyan authorities. United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees provided cash assistance and food parcels. We thank the authorities for their support in this release. So these people were released by the IOM and the United Nations for High Commissioner for Refugees in Libya to release these people from Anzara and other detention centers in Libya. Another story, the spokesman for the European Union for the Middle East and North Africa, Luis Miguel Bueno, renewed the union's threatened to impose sanctions on the election obstructionists in Libya. Miguel said in a television statement today that the European Union has adopted a legal framework that allows imposing sanctions on persons and entities that obstruct or undermine the elections in Libya, referring to UN Security Council Resolution number 2571/2021, which support this step. The European Union spokesman for the Middle East and North Africa indicated that the Paris Conference on Libya, which was held in the month, showed that the priority at the present time is holding presidential and parliamentary elections within a schedule set by the Electoral Commission started from December 24th. We are ready to mobilize all our resources to accompany Libya through this complex process, he continued. Added that the resolution of the Libyan conflict can only be political through an inclusive process owned and led by Libyans and restore Libyan sovereignty and territorial integrity. So this is the plans and the measures that the European Union also have took to support Libya in their upcoming elections on 24th December 2021.
GH Libya TV.
Now, the head of the High National Election Commission, M.O.U, held a press conference regarding the end of the stage of accepting applicants for candidacy for the election of the president of the state and the presenting of the latest development in the distribution of voters' cards. At a press conference held this afternoon, Saya said the doors to accepting candidacy was closed, and this sensitive stage of the historic elections, which Libyans aspire to succeed and complete its subsequent stages, was closed yesterday after the registration of 98 males and females candidacy who fulfilled the document stipulated by the list of candidates for the elections of the head of the state, number 73, issued by the Commission Council. Some of the applications submitted were referred to the competent authorities to verify the information provided therein. And upon completion of the responses of these authorities, the Commission will begin publishing the preliminary list of candidates to allow the stakeholders to challenge the names contained therein in candidacy with regulations number 1242/2021 issued by the Supreme Judicial Council, he added. He recorded the issue of appeals had been referred by law number 1 to elect head of state and define his powers in Article 54 to the Supreme Judicial Council, and not as some argued that it was set by the Commission, stressing that the judicial is one of our most important partners in managing and implementing the electoral process. Its presence lends more transparency and credibility to its approval and implementation by the Commission. He stressed that the Commission worked to show this historical event with all its experience and capabilities and spared no effort to prove to the world that we are a people who deserve to have a state of law and state institutions that accept everyone and are built by everyone. He said, the registration system for the House of Representatives has registered 1,766 male and female candidates to date, and the data of 1,343 candidates has been referred to the competent authorities to verify the information contained in the applicants' applications. Candidacy applications will continue to be accepted until the end of the working hours on Tuesday, 7th December 2021. In his statement, the head of the Commission added that the number of voter cards delivered so far totaled 1,700,000 cars as on Monday, or 60% of the total cars targeted to be delivered, which amounts to more than 2.8 million cars, and we accept the number of delivered cars to exceed 2.0 million cars, calling on all registered voters to receive their cars, preserve their vote, and own their decision. Saya pointed out that they were subjected to a campaign of slander and distortion by a handful of haters, not for nothing, but because we choose to align with the will of the people and to the state of institutions and the law, not to align themselves with a self-interested and utilitarian agenda, ostensible consensus and implicit blackmail and corruption. The president of the High National Commission, Election Commission, saluted the participation of women as candidates for the presidential election in a democratic way that will reflect a positive image of the role of women in Libya society. So guys, these are the stories we have for you today. So if you have not subscribed, please do well and subscribe. When you subscribe, don't forget to click on the notification bell to be notified anytime we upload a video or content here. And also don't forget to share it to your friends and loved ones. We shall keep on updating you the things happening on the soil of Libya and many more. So if you want to be updated and know exactly what is happening here, the right station or the right channel to be watched is the GH Libya TV.
GH Libya TV.
It's GH Libya TV. This TV is fantastic. Watch the program clearly and subscribe. All what we need from you is just click the button and subscribe. Whatever we do, you receive it. This TV station is perfect. We love you.
I was saying more about GH Libya TV, so enaka kreni na monti enka afrise nyama ba ko mienu bi ena na asi enkwan na watwi mu ensebebre no ena asi na de ye de brewo ene da yi ni tofambo mu ene se ye de yeni ekire oman Libya mu a oman Libya empanimfo ene oman Niger empanimfo atena se akobenkru mu anom asundue abuamu a waye enhyehyeye se oman mienu so ebinya nkitahodie se beye na oman man so ebetumi wadwuma yomu ene wakontusemu ni titiro ene oman Libya ene Niger emu no so no bibia betumi akoso ye ede amawo eno ntime ne okasa ene na wotwe awieye no aman mienu etena ase ede wonsa ehye enkrata ase a wokyeremu a efiri ene ne America kra edi enim ekoyi no wobeka wontoma apama no pa efa adwuma yesem ene wona kontusemu se Niger fo na beba Libya o se Libya fo na beko Niger no enomu nyina mu no enkutahudie papa ene anamontuo papa nso ena ebetumi akoso ewo wontamu a wokyeremu a saa enhyehye eya ade a yonkofai ewo wontamu ebresante na atwamu nanso wei eye ebere a wohye mu se wo sana akeka wo ho na wohye mu kena se ebeye na man mienu nso ebetumi afa wontama pa afra na wonkutahudie ni wona yonkofa nso atumi akonkan ewo oman no mu afi efase obi eko oman bi mu se Niger ni na oba Libya anase Libya ni na eko ewo Niger no nso no wonkrata asem ene won bibia nso ebetumi atoto yie nso ewo ho eno emu no ensema ene ye de betu dwa no nso bi akire mu a eye International Organization for Migration ene amansen kubatan fa wo hwe eye atutunafo ensem so mekira the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees and so aye enhyehyeye ama wakuyi enipa mako adunum enwotwe 58 enso afri eye detention center ewo Tripoli haya wochiremu a ni nyina eye mo a woboa na wahwe na afi waji atutenafo anase waka atutenafo asem ede ama won ewo oman mu na wochira enipa adunum enwotwe no 58 ye wokoyiwe eye nipa woka abra empanimfo anase asrafo dom etigu oman mu eye bosumidu a etwa mu da na edi nkan na wochi enipa anase ahowo bebre ewo oman mu no wochiremu a saa enipa adunum enwotwe 58 we ya wokoyiwe no eye nipa na woka saafo no ho bia wasan edi sika nso ahye wonsam se wonfa wotiri enkudidi mu a wonso oyehwe aboa na wasetena mu nso atumi akoyie nso ede amawo eno achiri no eye oman achiremu a the presidential council eye onumonyamfo anase opaninkese a yidi ede manfe enso abo anamon ene empanimfo akuaku ahodo ne oman ahodo nso akoye nhyiamudie a efa abibremu ha ene empatamu anase abibremu empanimfo ahodo no akohyemu ewo oman igi ahinku eye karo mu aye nkutahudi ensambi ewo ho na enumu ena opani ede kotudwa se ye ba oman Libya mu ade ba ko a eha adwen pa na eha ene wondwumadi nyina no eye atutenafo a wowo oman mu mekira ahoho a wowo oman mu a wofa sumanse ebetena oman mu a won krata asam ene won ho asam wo boso a emmo na aye ehaw bebiri ede ama oman wo kiremu a ni titiro no eye wona wonde wondwumadi ana wona ni so di hunu nyina no se wonde bibiri no wode woni bekire oman mu na mo wabefa ensuso ede akọ aman hodo so we aka ho bi ama opaninkase atonkra atene nsa akire eye European Union no se wonye enhyehyɛ bi a wobetumi se ebeye na afi bibiri mu atoye ha fam nso no wonso ene amansan kubatan ahodo nyina ene wona waka bia eba mu akuaku ahodo no nso enka wo homom na afi moa obetumi aboa na obetumi asisa dwumadie nso anokwan ewo oman Libya nso no ebetumi akosoye na ede aboa won eno akiri no eye European Union no nso asan ede ekrata tentente aba amonten so enam so amane Libya News Agency michala na enso ede atudwa eno ena GH Libya TV enso enam so enso edi etudwa ema wati asese eye European Union no nso amansan kuyi so aka wo ho abomu se eye afia anase afia awieye bosome edumi no edi animida etoso adunu ennan a oman ebekọ abato so na wayi emampanimfo emerahya ewo oman mu no so no wonso aye hyehyeye se de wo betumi bia na wobeye ede aboa oman mufo se ebeye na wona abato no so ebetumi akoso yie pa na wo kiremu a obi biara obeye na adwen se abato oma emma so anase wode basabasa ye ene niema ebesei abato no ebebade eye tabwa kese pa ena wore beto saafo no eso a enwa bia Libyafo behia ewo na abato mu no so no wobetumi ede abo man se ebeye na wobetumi akọ enkan na wokyira de betumi ama asundwe aba oman mu no eye kabi mami nkabi amamu aye kase democracy no eno ena ebetumi aboa na wohwe ahomakeka wokeka wo ho ede ato aba abato mu a wokyira wa wonim na musuo bebo na mo wode ntokwasem anase basabasa ye ene niema ahodo a ebesei dwumadi ebebade wonso asore egina pinti se de obeye bia no obetumi ede aboa Libya force beye na wona bato no so ebetumi akoso na aye asundwe ede amawo na orofo na otwi mu ene ensem kakra abeto yampon so de edika editie ena GH Libya TV yeso yehwemu a yede abrew wo kasafili yesu eno ntiso peso hu de ekoso omanmu ni de esi titiro efa atutenafo ene ahoho ewo omanmu eho ensam a de obeye ne se obemia subscribe button no so uwia no wahye ede amawnua kai se community tab no wo ho se beye no betuma beka abusuaku ehu ntino o kleke subscribe button no so a na wakleke adoma no so abre bia edi dwumadi betum ha no na wonso wonsa akabi na me ka se dwumadi nyina no Lona Air Transport Services ana waso ya sana a enam so ama dwumadi yetumi ede ebrew se opese o mana ade se opese oje ade se ofri oman Ghana mu ana se within the West Africa no se opese utukwan eko enkuru ahodo yewia so no eye adwumaku a ebetumi aboa wo na wasende wo niema ana waje wo niema de abrewo anase obebo ama wo control so ayefo ede ama no Luna Air Transport Services ubehunu won wo Lahani traffic light wo Tripoli Libya ahinkuru capital mo ho na wodi wonjuma uduru ho na ofre okwankyerefo ahomafotofo so a obetumi agye so na onso onena aye enhyehyeye afi yengi abofo enkrato na yemfamasi yedamase ema momonity a adehye. God bless you.
Ekenoko na yin na wokoi
me ko office bi wa hanum makare me fi Libya no 3 months ni me sankan amanfo sika nyina ka ho bla me sibi nda me na
na de na kutawi
kosua ne snap me ko bo mu dua mu ko bi next time mu dua bi sika
anti kosua
ene
on sa ho pepere nti ukofa snap akokofa lo mobites
me humpo
elo mo de mfa modua
se me kwa so man hwe hu ya brit me ba nyama man hwe ba bia
mama amenka se minchiro Luna Transport Service for aba e de amagana for yesi ame na o kase mu bie mu apunum e da to e da mo bi bia o peso tu kwan e ko Libya ane West Africa ba bia enti mama se o peso man TV laptops fridges e di free Libya e di bagana na West Africa nyina e di bagana de o mo bie mu apunum da to honom ende 120 connection man fo nyina hey away na te se po de onim akonfobia ba ya se da ye ho se ye de agent fo a ye de o mo ye de nipa ko na mo nyina ye ndadaafo te se Luna fo ana aba o mo de mo biem o mo kuta airline a ba bia o pese o ko biada ye de o be ko mame ba bia o je se wadu o se mde o ko na ko twero wudin mame o mo no mesin na gu ase no so ho enti bi de wo ko ho no office o meme so won se de ko gina office na nya ba bia ye betu wadi ayo frakadam
etuji di se me de me ho ba wo mo a wo mo nyam se de nkofo ba ko so ye mu bi ni
dabi yin twu ni kura te se ho no mo de bibia ya show na wo so o te pnema wo ko nkofa soro we ye ntwu ti kan di oniama wo mane nso no on sabe kan se kim
me de o mo so ye me ka mo no abo mu dua ba ko abo
mame oya